Your capacity to solve system problems requires, a whole new toolkit that is not the capacity to run a business, right? It's mental model shifting, it's collaboration, it's facility, it's all these things, right? By default, you need to be able to imagine the new way, and then there's a roadmap to get there. If you can't imagine the new, whatever the new is, there's no way you'll get there, right? You're going to be toiling with your current model. So we have a theory of change that we follow as, I guess, our framework, our meta framework. And it really says if you're going to solve a nutty problem that's a systemic problem, you need to be working on one, if not more, of three kind of layers of the problem: the solution layer, the capacity layer, and the policy layer. So there's the solution layer, which is, I think, the traditional space that a service designer plays. But the capacity layer, so how do you design the solution so it's building capacity of the ultimate people who have to execute the solution? And then the policy layer, so the design lens of policies. And when I say policy, I don't just mean laws, but wherever there's a regulatory hurdle to unlock, it needs a whole design lens around what it's going to take to unlock that switch. For service designers, I think the name of the game is having comfort and more ability to work in designing at a system level, right? Mapping all the different actors, having comfort with the ambiguity and the confusion of, if I make a change here, that happens, and I make a change here, then this happens, and that, and then being able to kind of design for that. St. Elizabeth, which is a national home care agency in Canada, about 8,000 staff, these guys transitioned from being a 50-person home care company, a health company that goes into people's homes and give care. They are now positioning themselves as a social impact company. They don't call themselves a healthcare company. And their number one mission is to spread hope and happiness. That's it. That's the lens through which every business decision gets made, every strategic direction, every staff hire, performance management. That is a paradigm shift. I will never see an incumbent healthcare company say, they're a social impact company and their job is to spread hope and happiness. By default, when you're doing system change, you're asking people to behave in a way they didn't before. Oftentimes, when you have a really big bottleneck to the before and after of an innovation, it's because there's a policy or regulatory or some constraint that has inhibited this future. Every system that's going through its own reinvention are a consequence of a system that was designed for a very different set of needs at a very different time in a very different set of conditions.